Hey, come on down, y'all, here to the Respawn Name Fire, the Kick-Ass Irreverent Gaming Podcast, brought to you by Affable Idiots. I'm one of your hosts, Chad Michael. Flip-flop goes the cops. Ennis, we've got here regular co-host. I know you want to be called Cozy, but do you want me to still say Alex is your name, or you want me to say Cozy, Bear Cozy? Cozy, hey. The bare bottom, Mr. Cozy.
Yeah, let's keep it at Cozy. Because I used up all my super meter making the popper cocktail on the prior episode of Respawn Name Fire.
Yes. Go watch it if you haven't.
I have now been relegated to just drinking a simple old plain Jane, no nonsense, salt of the earth, a Smirnoff Ice. And it is
by choice.
Okay.
What is the percent alcohol compared to the poppers that you were drinking last time?
This is 5% alcohol. Only 5%.
Okay. Only. I mean, that's significant. Speaking of significant, the man who is all I can think of right now is don't say significant other. Not my significant other, Joel Campos. What's up?
Yo, I'm here. It took me a while. I was playing a game. Took a long time. Trying to figure out why this light behind me. Where am I at here? Looks like I'm looking into it looks like I'm looking into a black hole. That's not how it looks on my wall. Like that's just,
what do you mean?
It's something to do with the camera. I don't know. Like look at the top of my head right now. It's weird.
I mean, it looks like
on my wall.
To me, it looks like a black. I mean, it looks like a blue light. How I would expect it to look
in OBS. Wait, what the fuck? Continue without me. I don't know what's going on. It looks so weird in OBS, but now it fixed itself.
All right, we are here. We are live, troubleshooting everything, having a grand old time. Adam is dead. Turns out you cannot drive your car with hydrogen in the gas tank. He didn't know it, but yeah, he's dead now.
Yeah,
but he'll be back next week.
No, not dead. It's just that the cops pulled him over because it was illegal. Car actually ran totally fine. You're just not allowed to per the laws of whatever state he lives in.
Right.
I figured it out.
Go and check out.
I figured it out.
Yeah?
For some reason, my camera had a blue chroma key on, so it was like blending into what was in the background. It's fixed now. It's normal.
I'm proud of you. We are here live on Monday evenings at 8:30-ish Eastern Time, which is right now, if you're catching us live. We are also on YouTube and podcast services on demand on Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, where you can catch us if you hate us. Housekeeping, go check out episode 400. We have officially had 400 real-life American episodes of this show, not including all of our barf episodes and side quests and all that shit. So we celebrated. Cozy already talked about the cocktail that he made. We had a great trivia game that, honestly, I didn't purposefully miss questions on it, but I'm glad that I missed as many as I did so that we got to hear more and more and more of them. Go check that out. Barf for July and August. You all voted for our backlog accomplishment, the Respawn and Friends game over on patreon.com/RespawnAimFire, and you chose Claire Obscure Expedition 33, which is a game that came out this year. We are already looking ahead to Game of the Year, and there are some contenders out there, and you all voted that you want everyone else on this goddamn podcast to finally play it, and for me to have an excuse to breeze through New Game Plus again. Cannot freaking wait. So that's going to be for July and August because it is a little bit of a longer game. And if you are a patron, not only did you vote for that or had the opportunity to vote, but you also get the opportunity to listen to our After Dark episodes and other special episodes a month-ish before the general populace does. And After Dark 6 is available to you now as a patron. And let me just say, it's about some things that I can't remember. Oh, Costco food, conventions.
IKEA food.
We
talked
right.
about Costco,
and
but
Costco
IKEA
food.
was the main.
No, remember? Because we compared the hot dogs.
Thing of the thing.
You were talking about hot dogs at one is like, it's a better hot dog here, but I'd rather go eat a hot dog here. I'm not going to spoil which one's which, but we talked about both food places at these general stores.
I will also say real quick, if you've already listened to this installment of After Dark, I actually have an update, a sequel to some of the things that were discussed on episode 6 that we will definitely get into in episode 7. Probably won't occupy the whole podcast, but I'm very excited to give you some updates on the IKEA situation.
If you are a person that hates us, you have now free access to Reactor Dark 5, which is about all the places Joel's friend Joe threw up in his life. That's out there. Planes, trains, automobiles, scooters? I don't think scooters was one of them, but you can find out on YouTube and podcast services now. For free. We have some things to talk about today. A couple of news stories. We've got a game. We've got a returning segment that you only hear once every 6 months that you're probably fucking stoked over the moon for. But we're going to start with our main quest. Nintendo might have heard you about game key cards. This comes from Jordan Midler at VGC. Here's the scuttlebutt. With Switch 2, Nintendo announced game key cards, which are physical game keys that contain no game data, but rather a digital download. The game key card can be resold and will work on other Switch 2 systems without the need for virtual game card lending. So, physical little thing that you still have to buy and put in your Switch, but it doesn't actually have the game on it. So far, the vast majority of third-party Switch 2 games are game key cards, with only a few exceptions, reportedly because only one size of card is available to developers, 64 gigabytes. So if you have a larger game, it doesn't fit on that game key card, or doesn't fit on the non-game key card, then you can't do it, because there's no bigger card. Now, as reported by Switch Soku, Nintendo has sent Japanese players a survey to gauge their awareness of the game key card system, and if it affects the way they purchase games. The survey first asks participants if they're aware of game key cards, and then follows up by asking if the user is aware of the characteristics of game key cards, such as their requirement for players to download game data, and that the card must be inserted in order to play. Finally, the survey asks if the participant would rather purchase a game key card or a digital download version of the same game. So Nintendo wants to know, hey, you know about this news thing? Do you know how it works? If you had the choice, would you buy this or would you buy a digital download? What do y'all think?
This is, like, it's funny. I can totally see a scenario in which Nintendo does a complete 180 and is like, you know what? That whole game key card situation was a little too confusing and fucked up. We're going to just do away with it and do something more conventional and straightforward. And, like, that would be, like, it's funny because, like, the scenario I'm painting for you in my mind is, like, simultaneously would be a dramatic shift, and yet also, as much as people don't love the whole game key card situation, I also don't feel like there's necessarily this like uproarious protest against it either. The whole game key card situation is just in a really weird spot right now, where we're all kind of like, yeah, it's not great, but also I feel like there's not this sort of overwhelming dislike of it in the way that I feel like people had great dislike for the initial plan for what the Xbox One was going to do when it first unveiled a very similar system, you know, over a decade ago. It's weird.
Joel, as one of those sickos that buys Nintendo games physically, what are your thoughts?
I honestly don't mind game key cards. I don't own any just because I don't know. I'm not trying to buy like Cyberpunk on the Switch currently. You know what I mean? I don't know. I kind of like the idea of the game key card being a... Sorry, I got to sneeze.
Bless you.
Oh, sorry. Thanks. Yeah, I don't mind the game key card itself. Like, I like the idea of being able to sell it, I guess, right? Like, a lot of... Because, like, every digital game I ever buy, I'm never going to be able to sell that. You know what I mean? That's tied to me. It's tied to my account. The only way to get rid of it is by selling the account. Whereas if I had a game key card, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe I want to buy Cyberpunk and just play it on the Switch for, you know, 40 hours, whatever, 20 hours, and then sell it. I mean, at least I have that option available to me. I think that I'm one of the more, I don't know, willing people to buy a game key card, as like it seems like the internet hates the game key card idea, and I honestly just think it's so new and people don't quite understand it. Like the general consumer is going to have no idea what the fuck a game key card is, as opposed to just a game, right? Like little Timmy on Christmas getting Cyberpunk for his new Nintendo Switch 2. He's not going to understand that he's going to have to download the whole game when he puts it in. He's going to be confused when he puts it in. Regardless, though, like even Switch games that are on the card itself, you're still going to have to download a huge update as soon as you put it in, right? Like,
yeah.
So I personally, I don't see the big deal. I mean, it seems like they're making it very obvious that it is a game key card, like on the cover of the box itself. Maybe that's just not clear enough to people. I have no idea. Maybe they need to make the case a different color than just the standard red, like something more to stick out. I have no clue. But yeah, I don't know. I'm fine with the game key cards personally. I think it's fine. I don't know.
I'm not a physical Game Boy myself. Mostly because, especially on a handheld system, the thought of, oh, I have to bring with me a case full of little tiny cards everywhere I go in case I want to switch games, like that's not alluring to me. Even though I do now have an analog pocket and a growing collection of physical Game Boy games. As I also fidget right now with a Pokemon Ultra Sun cartridge in my hand. So take everything I said with a grain of salt. But yeah, I'm not a physical boy just because of that. And it feels like to me the game key card, I don't know, it's yes, it's the benefit of being able to sell it, but like that's the only benefit, and everything else is just like such a big inconvenience. Or like, God forbid, you lose your Switch with, you know, all those key cards in it, or leave it on a plane, or who knows what, and then all of that shit's gone with it. The biggest complaint I've heard about game key cards, to the point where like now, anytime Wario64 tweets about like a sale on a game, I feel like he always discloses in there, by the way, this is a game key card versus an actual game on the card. The biggest complaint I've heard about it is just game preservation and the fact that you won't be, no matter what, if one day Nintendo turns off the servers to their stores, which to date, maybe the Wii and Wii U is the only stores that they've like actually shut down, where this would affect that.
Yeah. And also, I guess, the 3DS store.
Well, 3DS, you still have the option to download purchased stuff. They've just turned off the ability to buy new things, right?
To be fair, I don't think that's a detriment to the game key card. That's just a detriment to game keys in general, right? Like you could buy a game key digitally, and if they take the store down, you're still shit out of luck, right? Whether you have a game key card or a game key.
I mean, the difference being like, yeah, you could sell this game key card, but in the event that they shut down the store where you're no longer able to download it again, like that game key card is just as useless as a digital download code. Whereas a cartridge with the actual thing on it wouldn't be useless anymore. Like you could still go and buy a Ultra Sun and Moon cartridge and still play the game, that kind of shit. So I don't know. In general, it feels like a weird thing. It's just also convoluted. Anyway, and it looks like they're hearing people, but it doesn't look like they're hearing people in a way that's gonna like lead to, oh, we'll start getting bigger cartridges or put things on cartridge. Because right now they're like, hey, would you rather have the game key card or a digital download? Like, do we even need to make physical things of these at all? Or are you all actually just okay with digital downloads? So it doesn't look like it looks like that's the direction they're moving, is digital completely instead of actually offering you the physical thing you want, maybe, if you're that person. Cool. Well, keep that in mind as you go about your life and decide what you want to do and who you want to be and why you want to do physical at all. Let's move on to playtime. We're talking about what we played this week. And we're going to start with, Cozy. Tell me about number 1 and 2 that you've got there.
So here's the thing. Over the course of the past week, I've been pretty busy working on a couple of secret projects. I've unfortunately not touched Death Stranding 2 since we last spoke, but that's actually not because of a lack of wanting to go back to it, but because the person that I was playing it alongside hasn't really been available, and so I've been holding off until they're more available. So in place of Death Stranding 2, I've been doing a lot of Cookie Clicker, Game of the Year of 2025. Well, second to the DLC for Lies of P, of course, as we established on the previous episode. The other thing, though, that I have been really, really into as a recent, not a video game, so you'll have to excuse me for bringing them up on this particular podcast, is I'm planning on seeing the James Gunn Superman movie later this week, and I figured, you know what?
Planning on seeing it, okay.
Yes,
he has the thinkings of the starting of an idea of seeing the movie.
I phrase it that way because I'm driving out of town to meet up with a friend in another city to see it with them. We're making a big mandate out of it. Anyways, long story short, why are you showing Fortnite? Oh, because of Superman. Got it. When are we going to see Superman? This is Solid Snake, not Superman.
Oh, you
Joel,
when
are we going to see Superman? All right, we'll have to wait for it. Anyways, whenever one of these big franchise movies are about to release, I always have it in mind, it would be really cool to go back and rewatch every single movie in this particular franchise. There's a Man of Steel. It would be good to go back and rewatch every single prior movie in this particular franchise. And you know what? I've never watched. The only prior Superman movie that I've seen is Superman Returns, the mid-2000s movie. I've never seen any of these Superman movies from the 1970s or 80s. And so over the course of the past week, I watched Superman 1978. Is it 1978 or is it 1979? It's 1978. I got it right. Superman 1978. I watched Superman 2, the original cut, not the Richard Donner cut. I watched Superman 3, and I watched Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. And man, that is, talk about an experience. Have you guys, and now we're watching Superman 64, the best. A game based on the Superman animated series, which I did not watch this past weekend. Have either of you guys seen the old school Superman movies from the 70s and 80s?
No. I have not, no.
I did see that episode of South Park where Christopher Reeve eats the stem cells out of fetuses and then is able to walk again.
Ooh, wow, that's really, really impressive. Superman 1978, it is a very long, very plotting, but also immensely enjoyable movie. It's one of those movies that I walked away from being like, not necessarily going to go down as my favorite Superman movie, superhero movie of all time, but it is a movie that I feel very much inclined to go back and watch. The cinematography, Richard Donner's directorial style is extremely impressive. And there are a lot of cheesy effects that don't hold up across time, but there are a lot of other effects that I think are quite impressive for the era. And I gotta say, there are a lot of very handsome men, very beautiful women in these superhero movies. I'm going to say this right here, right now. This is a big statement. Margot Kidder, who plays Lois Lane in Superman.
Lois. It's Lois Lane.
Lois Lane. I literally, as I was saying, I want to let you know. Literally, as I was saying it, I'm like, I'm mispronouncing this. I'm aware that I'm mispronouncing it. I haven't gone my entire life thinking it's Lois Lane. I know for a fact that it's Lois Lane, but I'm just going to power through this. She portrays Lois Lane in Superman 1978 and the 3 sequels. I'm going to say this right here, right now. I think she is the hottest person that has ever portrayed a comic book character in any superhero movie.
You're just saying that because she's Canadian.
Is she?
She is.
I genuinely don't know.
I can't wait until we find out, like, oh yeah, she grew up down the street from where Cozy lives.
I mean, the way I see it, her being Canadian is a huge bonus. She is smoking, especially in that first movie. The sequels, things get a little bit complicated.
She was born in Yellowknife, Canada.
Oh.
And died at the nice old age of 69.
Nice.
Superman.
Oh, that feels terrible to say. I say a lot of like off-color things, but that feels gross.
Superman 2 was interesting. What I appreciate about Superman 2 is I feel like you think back to the olden era of superhero movies, and I feel like it was so rare during that era that you would get a superhero movie that's like a direct sequel to a movie that preceded it. You think about the Batman movies from this same era, and like most of those movies don't really follow up on prior entries, plot threads, and whatnot. And so it was cool to have Superman 2 like directly lead in from the events of Superman 1, which makes sense considering they were shot back to back, yada, yada, yada. Overall, not as good as Superman 1. If you know anything about the making of Superman 2, it was this very weird and convoluted production where it was initially being directed by Richard Donner, and then Richard Lester came in and ended up directing a lot of it. And so it's this sort of mishmash of more campy content and more serious content that was in the original Richard Donner cut, which eventually got released as its own version of the movie many years later. Pretty solid. There's a really good scene towards the end of the movie where Zod and his 2 lackeys they defeat like a mob of angry humans by just blowing on them for like an hour. Like they just inhale and exhale a gigantic like breath of incredibly powerful air, and just literally it's like 10 minutes of the movie is them just blowing up the city by blowing into it. It's very funny. Superman 3. okay, so here's the thing. There are a lot of bad superhero movies out there, but none of them are quite like Superman 3. Superman 3 is not a Superman movie. It is basically a Richard Pryor vehicle about him portraying a computer genius called Gus Gorman, who basically allies himself with a bunch of rich industrialists to hack into a satellite to try and control the production of coffee in Colombia and then eventually facilitate an oil crisis in the name of getting rich. And that culminates in them trying to create a supercomputer. And then all of this is being intercut with Superman having his own misadventures and then eventually getting infected by a version of kryptonite that was mixed with tar that causes him to go evil. Superman 3 is, I will say, an immensely fascinating movie. It's not particularly good. It felt like watching a 2-hour-long, I don't know what the hell. This was a wild ride. Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, the final movie in that quadrilogy, unfortunately, is just like a straightforwardly bad movie. It is the whole deal with that one is the first 3 movies were produced by the Salkins, which were a pair of like just infamously awful like Hollywood executives. Superman 4 was purchased by Canon Films, which is a company known for just making all sorts of schlocky movies. They made Bloodsport. They made Cobra, the Sylvester Stallone movie. They made Breakin' and Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo. Yes, that movie. That movie. Most of that movie, Superman 4, is just JPEGs of Superman fighting JPEGs of Nuclear Man, which was cloned from his hair after it was hurled into the sun while attached to a nuclear rocket. It's very silly and stupid, and you could tell watching it that nobody involved in that movie was happy with the production as it was being made. I'm excited and ready for Superman, directed by James Gunn, later this week.
Well, I did watch Superman, directed by James Gunn, in IMAX, the San Francisco Metreon Theater, and it was 10 out of 10 experience. It was It was fantastic. Smiling the whole time, cried a couple times, and let me tell you, you might reconsider your little Canadian princess after you see David Cornsweet in this movie, who is just the most charismatic, the most fucking. You're just gonna soak your panties. He's so sexy.
Let's see.
All right,
is Cornsweet Canadian?
No, he's from Philadelphia. Also, there's a great interview of him
Pretty
and
close.
That's true. Yeah, that's a little further north and you'd be Canada. Him and fucking Nick, who's the guy who plays Lex Luthor and Beast, and Nick Holt,
the European guy.
So there's an interview on Variety, I don't know, one of the V's, of just like them doing lie detector tests, and they're interviewing each other while strapped to a lie detector, and it's fucking so good. And it's like 20 minutes of them just interviewing each other. It's great. Anyway, yeah, Superman, go see it. It's fantastic. And then
I want to let you know right now, I'm going through the IMDb of Superman 2025 to see if anyone in the cast is Canadian. Is Bradley Cooper Canadian? Is
He's from Philly.
Canadian?
Bradley Cooper
Michael
from
Rooker.
Philly.
God damn it! I'll find one. Keep talking. Keep talking.
Try it. We're gonna do for this next one. PE, by the way, is Pokemon Emerald. I played a little bit more of it. I'm liking that game. I'm also a little bit like astounded at the number of times I've had to Google a walkthrough to figure out what to do next in that game, which is not something that I've ever done, I think, for a Pokemon game. But yeah, still playing it. We're going to play another game called Cozy. Can you guess what this is?
Okay, it's definitely something that you 3D printed. We're hip to that game now.
Cozy, can I give you a hint?
Uh-huh.
Every time he does this, it's almost always the same, if not a similar thing. So think of what he has shown you the past few weeks.
What? My wiener?
You know what? I'm going to say...
Do you know what he showed you last week? Do you remember?
In the early 2000s, there was an adventure game that was released on Bionicle.com called the Matanui Online game. And the game began with your character, Takua, waking up on the beach.
It's Blastoise!
Oh,
look at this
it's
giant
Blastoise.
baby. That was a cannon from Blastoise. I got one more. This one I'm going to try to obscure in a very specific way. Let's see. All right. Cozy? Ah!
No,
What is this?
I mean,
There's
that
no way.
reminded me a
That's an
lot.
impossible task, Chad. I know what that
So-
is. You got to give him a different hint.
That
What is this?
reminds
There you go.
me.
That's
Okay.
better.
That reminds me a lot of the 2006 Bionicle storyline where
Nope, it's a Hollow Knight amiibo that I 3D printed. What?
it's an amiibo. What is
Yeah.
it? What's it actually like? What kind of data does it actually have in there? Does it have any data in there?
No, I just printed the base at 100% infill so that it was weighty. And yeah, it's pretty sexy.
Pretty cool.
By the way, Hollow Knight was our barf game for the last 2 months, and we recorded that, and it was great. And Dane Deasy of Dane Deasy's Balls texted me today and said, I really like the Hollow Knight episode. So
Hell
be
yeah.
like Dane, go listen
Thanks,
to it. It's
Dane.
great. Joel, what'd you play?
So we were late starting the podcast because I decided, I know last week I said, my whole dining room setup's all set up, or living room setup's all done, and I wanted to get back to Death Stranding, so I picked back up Death Stranding. And yeah,
This is Death Stranding 1,
the
correct?
first one, yes. The original Death Stranding. Yeah, I picked it up, had no idea what the fuck I was doing, and I was like, all right, what orders do I got? And I had one order. Turns out when I left off, I picked up a main quest. So I just picked up from there. I am now on episode, I think they're called, episode 8 or 9 now. I think 8.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just had a really lengthy cutscene. That's why I was late getting on the show. It was like probably 20, 25 minutes long. It was crazy. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. This game it's beautiful.
Real
Sorry.
quick, the cutscene in question, did it involve two characters getting together in a shower?
No.
Has
No.
there been any cutscene yet in the game in which two characters have
Cozy,
walked into a shower?
Maybe in the past.
Okay.
I don't remember all the cutscenes up until this point. That was one thing.
You'll know it when you get to it.
That was one thing when I was playing. Actually, I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm not 100% sure. There was one point when I was playing, I was like, I need to watch a recap video of the story and then just watch it up until where I'm at, so I kind of know what's going on. But anyway, Cozy, the cutscene I just had there was a heart. It involved a heart and a man.
Okay.
I'm sure you know what that means.
Oh.
It was Heartman. Oh, Kojima.
Which order do you have to fight him in before you fight Dr. Wily?
You have to
Like, is he
fight
the
him to
first
get your
robot,
heart. He's the
Heartman,
first one. That's how you get your heart. That's how you get
Gotcha.
your
And
heart.
then the heart is really effective against what? Hate Man?
Fire.
So,
Fireman.
a fun fact, Chad. Heartman in Death Stranding lives right next to a lake. Do you want to take a guess? Do you want to hazard a guess of what shape that lake is?
A big dick.
No,
Close.
it is a heart. It is a heart.
It is a heart. But yeah, I am loving having picked up this game again. I'm probably like, I don't know, 6 to 12 hours from the end. Is my rough estimate based off of like videos I've seen, and how I think there's 14 episodes total, and I'm on 8 or 9, so I'm getting there. Yeah, the game is just beautiful. It's also insanely frustrating not really knowing what the fuck I'm doing, picking it back up, because like I was going through a blizzard and I couldn't see shit. I just kept falling. All my shit was going everywhere. And then I got a main mission where it's like, all right, go back through that blizzard back to this area and take this cargo. By the way, this cargo is going to fucking start leaking gas and it's going to kill you.
Oh, no.
So take some repair spray bottles. And I, bought a bunch of repair spray bottles and I had no idea how to use them. So I just kept dying, and I was like, I got to look this up. I spent probably 40 minutes just dying to the gas that I was carrying. But now I'm getting a grip on it. I'm enjoying it. I look forward to every cutscene that comes, just because this game is just so beautiful. Not so much so about the story, just because like I said, I have no idea what the fuck is going on right now. I just know I'm connecting the chiral network across the United States. Or whatever the United States is called in this game. I don't even know.
The United Cities of America.
United Cities of America. Yeah. But yeah, I am enjoying it. Definitely going to play more, which is good and bad, right? Because I really want to get back to Expedition 33, but right now I think Death Stranding has its grips in me because I started playing that again. That's not to say I'm not going to play Expedition 33. I'm definitely going to play it because I think I'm like 12 hours into that game. So I have a good chunk, I have a good start on Expedition 33. So I will definitely get back to it. But the other games I have been playing are Forza Motorsport. I've been playing a lot of Forza Motorsport. I know I talked about it last week as well because they announced Turn 10 getting a bunch of layoffs and kind of the future of Forza Motorsport specifically being uncertain. I know.
Are you saying that we might not ever get Forza Motorsport?
No, we already had Forza Motorsport 5, Chad.
No, but we need the sequel series 5.
Yeah, I know. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you politely. You're not funny.
Oh my God! Say that to everyone in the chat right now, cracking up.
Everyone
sorry, they're all private DMs. No one, you can't see them.
Chad, why is everybody laughing at that joke? Mexican, replying in Spanish. Cha 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 cha.
Cha 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 cha.
Yeah, this game is awesome. It's so good. I've been playing a lot of online multiplayer because there's some achievements tied to the multiplayer in terms of getting a S safety rating, which is just like, don't be a dick online, don't bump into people, don't drive off the track, that kind of thing. And I think I talked about it last week. My safety rating was down to a B, and I worked it back up to an A. Or no, I was either at B or C, and I worked it back up to A, super hyped. And then I got into one race where, oh man, there were some bad apples in it, Chad. There were some bad apples. They fucking were crashing into everybody. There were 2 guys in this lobby crashing into everybody, and it affected my score to where, like, because the game, it's all like, I don't know, automated, right? So if the computer thinks that it was my fault that, somebody got run off the track, then
there should be like an insurance adjuster that comes and figures out who's actually at fault.
Fun fact, if you go on the subreddit, people are constantly posting videos like, who's at fault here? Because like people just get so mad at this game. But yeah, I'm trying to work my way back up. I went back down to a B, and that really made me sad. So I stopped playing for like a few days, but now I'm back on it, doing a few races every day, racing clean, racing fast, getting right back into it, going to get back up to S. Here's the hard thing is when you get into S rank, I think you need to do 10 consecutive races in that safety rating.
Oh, geez.
So you just have to hope that nobody fucks up bad enough to where it messes up my record. You know what I mean?
Does it count if it's like a private online match? Like, can somebody that you know hop in?
It's got to be featured multiplayer, which is with randoms. But yeah, that being said, there is like, so it'll find you a game with people that are in the same safety rating as you, right? So I'm safety rating B, so other people will be B. That doesn't mean people aren't going to be dicks still. It just means that they're just known to be better, safer drivers. And then after it puts you in the safety rating, it'll put you with similarly skilled racers so you have a safety rating and then you have a skill rating. The skill rating is it's either from 0 to 5,000 or 1,000 to 5,000. I don't remember. 5,000 being the best. I want you guys to guess what my skill rating is.
I've been in a car with you on multiple occasions, and I'm going to say you were the only person playing this game right now with a 5,000 score.
4,269.
No, so my score is around the 4,600 mark, which I'm very proud of.
Close.
That's pretty high. That's pretty high. Now, I have no idea what the fuck that means. I don't know, like, if somebody with a 100 score... Oh, sorry. Elise just open. You can leave it open. Elise just opened the door to let Gwen in because she's curious. Yeah.
She's like, no, he's a terrible driver. Don't listen to him.
Yeah, don't listen to him. He never takes me to the park. Yeah, so I've been playing more Forza. And then the other game I've been playing with Adam, who I'm not convinced he is actually busy right now. I'm convinced he's probably just playing this. We played some rematch the other day, me, him, and John Hansen. Is
that a Game Pass game?
It is a Game Pass game. It's on PC and Xbox Game Pass. Also, I think it's $40 on, everywhere you could buy it pretty much. This game, it's so interesting to me that this game is out because it's out as if it's a full release, but it still feels like a beta to me. Like, I don't know, like the networking issues, because like this developer is not known to have making multiplayer games. There's networking issues. There's like when you're in the game, all you hear is just like lo-fi music playing. There's really nothing going on. Like of course you hear when you kick the ball, the sound of your, foot hitting the ball, but in like the sound of you like sprinting, you hear your feet hitting the ground, but something about it just feels off, like incomplete almost. Like I really want them to add like a commentator of some sort just to describe what's happening, right? Even if it is something simple like oh my god, like off the post, or what a shot, just like super generic things. Just like scream it in my ears, man. Make me feel good about what I'm doing, not just like, hey Adam, I'm passing you the ball and I pass it and it's like, oh fuck, that was a bad pass. But nobody's acknowledging it. But yeah, I'm having fun playing this. I hate being goalie. I'm so bad at goalie, and it makes you be goalie. So that's fun, I guess. But yeah, ton of fun. It's very skill based, right? So it's not like FIFA where you hit A to pass the ball and it just goes to like the person in the general direction you're facing. When you pass the ball and when you shoot the ball, you have to be like aiming specifically where you're kicking the ball. So like if Adam's like across the field from me and I try and kick it to him and I aim incorrectly, it's just going to go away from him in whatever direction I kind of pressed it. So, yeah, there's definitely a lot of potential here. I'd be excited to play ranked once Adam and John are both level 5, but I know that they're too scared. So they're too scared for ranked.
Being called out.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been playing, and I'll probably keep playing those same games plus Expedition 33 for the barf.
Barf. Barf.
Barf.
What about you, Chad? Anything else other than Emerald?
No, just Pokemon Emerald. To be honest, I only even played like a half hour Pokemon Emerald. I didn't play anything this week.
But I do have plans to play more Switch 2. I didn't bring it in here, but I was going to show it up. But I got the Kill Switch 2 D-brand case. I know Chad. I already told Chad about it.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Feels very comfortable. The main reason I want it is because I'm going on a work trip in a few weeks. And that's going to suck. So, going to bring my Switch.
Well, maybe you can save Conky for it.
I say it's going to suck because it is a 5.5 hour car ride with like 15 coworkers.
5.5 hour car ride?
Yes. Ugh. Yes. They're renting 2 big vans for us to drive up to northern Wisconsin in. It's the worst. And so I'm just going to bring my Switch and probably buy the Pokemon Violet DLC and play through that.
Oh, that'll be fun.
You're not a Donkey Kong boy?
Oh yeah, I'm picking that up this week.
Oh, yeah, that's
soon. So that's going to be another point of contention because I know I'm going to be gone like that whole week, right? So I'm going on a work trip Monday through Thursday. I'm getting home Thursday like afternoon, planning on coming home for a few hours, and then your boy's driving to Indianapolis to go to Gen Con that weekend. And so Elisa can be very mad because I know once Donkey Kong comes this week, that's all she's going to want to do. And like she's going to be like, oh, you're leaving on a work trip. Cool. I'll play Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's like, well, maybe. Yeah, maybe you could do that. We'll see. We'll be fighting.
Oh, well, something else is coming up pretty soon. Ghost of Yotei. Jumping into our quest log, we've got Ghost of Yotei. This comes from Kyle Hilliard at Game Informer. Isn't that nice to say? Game Informer in like a not dead sense. There was a new Sony State of Play that showed off a deep dive for Ghost of Yotei. We have a couple things here that were shown off in it that we'll highlight, and then I'll just like mention something cool that a new discovery at the very end here. As players explore the world and get into trouble, they will collect cards that represent clues and potential locations to explore. When you interrogate a character after defeating them, you will apparently get a choice of cards. Some will push you towards interesting places with upgrades. Others will show you to get into fights. Card system is also how you keep track of various missions. There is a new system where you can buy maps to important locations from cartographers, but you can also, like Zelda Breath of the Wild, look through a spyglass in the distance and like mark things, interesting places that you might want to go explore. There's also a broader range of weapons that Atsu uses that might be new from what we experienced with Jin and Ghost of Tsushima. She can use a katana, kusarigama, odachi, dual swords, or a spear, and she also has access to bows and arrows, muskets, kunai, bombs, and blinding powder. And First thing to make your peen stand on end, Natsu has a wolf with her, or can choose to have a wolf with her, and we saw a scene where the wolf helped her take down an enemy very quickly. There are also a couple of extra modes. In the first one, there was a Kurosawa mode that basically makes the game look and sound like the old samurai movies from Kurosawa. It turns it black and white. And in this one, there's a Miike mode inspired by the director Takashi Miike from 13 Assassins and Ichi the Killer that zooms the camera in closer and adds more blood and mud. And there's also a Watanabe mode inspired by director Shinichiro Watanabe from Samurai Champloo and Cowboy Bebop that lets players explore while listening to lo-fi beats that have been curated by Watanabe. And then here's the other great thing. Y'all know how much I love a DualSense. I got a bunch of them on my wall. New limited edition DualSense controllers in gold and black, as well as a PS5 Slim and Pro gold plates. And there's a PS5 Slim bundle that has black plates in it. And that's the only place you can get the black plates, is if you buy the Slim bundle from PlayStation Direct. And that's Ghost of Yotei.
That's so weird.
Did y'all get a chance to catch it?
The collector's edition stuff is so weird to me. Like I get that they're doing it. A few reasons I think it's weird is that there's two different colors. The gold that looks like just poo smear on your controller, and the black. And it's just weird that then if you want the black plates, the only way to get them is to buy the Slim console. I don't know. There's something weird about it to me.
So earlier this year, I jumped into the original Ghost of Tsushima for the first time. I figured that it was high time that I, finally give this title a shot, considering, how highly people hold it. And I played through about like the first third or so of it, and then I dropped off. And I said at the time, well, there are a bunch of things that have come up. There are more pressing games I need to get to. I'll definitely come back to Ghost of Tsushima in due time. I don't think I'm actually ever going to come back to Ghost of Tsushima, nor do I think I'm going to play this game. I think that initial slice that I played of the original Ghost of Tsushima left bad enough of a taste in my mouth that I think I'm kind of done with this franchise, honestly. This game will have to come out and be like, yo, this game is an 11 out of 10 for me to reconsider and be like, I think I should probably give this one another shot. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to let this one pass me by.
Watching this, I was literally thinking, like, I love Ghost of Tsushima, and I kind of want to go back and play Ghost of Tsushima Legends. Just because that was
the multiplayer thing?
Yeah, the multiplayer thing. I had a ton of fun with that when it came out. I never got a crew together enough to do the raids in it, but I always wanted to. So I know Kenny, my friend Kenny, he's super loves the Legends mode as well. So maybe I can convince him to...
Oh, you can get Dallas in there. Dallas is one of those sickos who's like, Ghost of Tsushima has better storytelling than The Last of Us Part 2. And I was like, you're in timeout.
Yeah, maybe I'll go back to it. We'll see. My plate's kind of full right now, so I'll at least download it, load it up. I don't think I ever got the platinum in Ghost of Tsushima, but I think I got pretty close. I'm going to look.
I'm pretty sure it's something like 40 hours into Ghost of Tsushima, but apparently did not get to the point that Adam is like, hey, you hit this point, and then you're like, everything in the game kind of changes, and it's a lot more fun. So yeah, I put a bunch of time into it, and then I was like, I'm done. And I think I just open worlded myself to death. But what gets me excited about this one, I was in your camp, Cozy, where I was like, I don't think I'm gonna pay any attention to this one. What gets me excited about this one? The controller is what opened my mind.
If you have to buy the controller, you have to buy the game, right? You can't.
Well,
you can't just buy the
Monster
controller.
Hunter Worlded the controller, but I didn't Monster Hunter or Wilded. I got the Wilds controller, but I didn't buy the Wilds game. But to be honest, the controller is one that I'm now suddenly like 10% enough interested that I'll at least listen when I'm listening to like Kind of Funny or something like that, and they're talking about it. And one of the things that someone mentioned, I think it was on Kind of Funny podcast, was that they specifically are aware of the fact that they had a lot of open world repetitive missions in the first game, which is where I got stuck. Like that's where I got burnt out. And this game, they're like, we're putting less stuff in there, and it's going to be all unique stuff, and we're taking out the repetitive nature, which is like why I have a problem, I think, with open world games in general. So I'm gonna not pre-order it and like play it day one, but I'm going to be paying attention at least to how it reviews and maybe jump in.
You know, I'm the kind of person where like anything can happen. Anything can happen in my life. Anything absolutely at all. No, anything can happen in the sense that if this game gets really rave reviews, if you guys all say you got to try it, Cozy, I can definitely give this one another shot. I was definitely fatigued by a lot of the open world stuff in the first game as well. Another thing I will say, though, is like one thing that I actually really appreciated about the first game, something that I think is definitely a highlight of that game, is how it mixes like historical fact with fiction, how it takes this sort of lesser known world conflict, the invasion of Japan by the Mongols, and uses it to weave this original story about a samurai who has to determine what is the breaking point for his code of honor as a samurai. And like, I gotta be totally honest, like the premise of Yotei, of it being a person who was orphaned at a young age and now embarks on a quest of revenge to kill her would have been killers from way back when. I'm sure that, there are some, fantastic story moments in store for me if I were to jump into this game. But I feel like I've seen this plot played out many times before. This doesn't really have the sort of je ne sais quoi, the kind of like unique factor that the original Ghost of Tsushima had, of being both this mix of fiction and an actual historical event that actually took place. I don't know. I'm a little...
I think you're pronouncing it wrong. The first one didn't have je ne sais quoi. It was Jinsakai.
Ah, that's right. Yeah. That's why I didn't like it. I couldn't pronounce it
Go ahead, Joel. Put ja in the chat.
I think it also doesn't help that Assassin's Creed Shadows just came out this year and literally had a similar plot where it's just a revenge story based in, Japan. So it's just a similar kind of story, I think.
Oh, man. So many video games out there about revenge.
Chad, we forgot about a game that we played.
What did we play?
Worms, Armageddon.
Oh my God, we played Worms.
We did play Worms.
Oh my God. Let me tell you about this game, Worms Armageddon Remastered. It is maybe the worst looking game you'll ever watch a trailer for or gameplay of, and it looks stupid as shit, and it looks like the most moronic. You're like, how does anyone ever play this game? That's what all of us think when we watch anything from Worms.
Cozy, have you ever played a Worms game?
Yeah, it's been way back in the day. I had big cousin Francois, not French. Actually, he is French, but like he doesn't come from like a francophone family. He came from an Italian family. Point being, we would play Worms on his computer at his home.
Okay, yeah. So me and Chad both have never played Worms before. Matt is a giant Worms fan. So we all got together, we bought Worms, and we surprised him by playing Worms with him for his birthday last week. And yeah, like Chad was saying, like this gameplay you're seeing. Oh, sorry, I should probably share it with the YouTube video. If you're watching the YouTube video, the gameplay you're seeing, it doesn't look fun. Oh, not at all. Doesn't look fun. The trailers for the game does not look fun. But let me tell you, man, I had a great time playing this game.
Hear me right now, but you're cutting out a lot, and now you've disappeared on my end. But maybe Chad can see you.
He's back now for me.
Oh,
he's back. He's back for you too. You're here. But you're back. We're good.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, what I was saying is like it doesn't look like a fun game when you're watching gameplay. Just the gameplay, right? But if I watched gameplay with like a bunch of friends playing it, I'm sure I would have got the appeal by watching it. Because, man, there was a lot of shit talk going on. There was a lot of alliances being formed, a lot of betrayals.
There were no alliances being formed.
I had alliances with everybody.
There was Joel trying to make a bunch of alliances with people.
I had you all wrapped around my finger.
If anything, it was just everyone trying to get rid of backshots.
Yeah, so Pum Piggy made an appearance, Cozy, because if you don't know,
it's true.
You get to name all of your worms on your team.
Mm-hmm.
So I had Pum Piggy, I had Backshots. I had Ed Sheeran on my team. It was a great time. Yeah, I am surprised by how much I enjoyed it, and surprised by how much I'd be willing to play again if we got like 4 people to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a 6-player game, and we had a full 6. But it's I'd be down to play this for like a Gears of Wednesday or something like that. And there's a new version. There's a new Worms game coming out that's free on Apple Arcade next month that looks like a much more 2025 version. Yeah, not a 1999 game remastered in 4K. Yeah, this game blew me away. I had a ton of fun playing it. Would play again.
All right,
sorry. All right. 2 more segments left here. We're going to jump now to Cozy's question of the week. Woo!
Oh, man. I can't remember the last time that we did a Cozy's question of the week. It has been so incredibly long. So I have something to say with regards to this particular segment. The reason why this segment got off the ground in the first place, the inception of this segment, is I would send in a bunch of questions to the Kind of Funny podcast because they were like, yeah, if you want to send in questions to the podcast, do so at kf.com/questions or whatever the link was. And then at some point, like around 6 months ago, they just stopped reading questions altogether. And so I would send like 5 questions a month and none of them would get read on the podcast, nor would anyone else's questions get read on the podcast. And the idea is that in the past, I would take all the questions that wouldn't get read on the podcast, add them to my question sheet at Chad's suggestion of like, yo, you should repurpose these questions for some purpose on this podcast. And ever since Kind of Funny stopped reading questions on the show, I've stopped sending questions into them, which means that I have stopped also adding like unread questions to this document. So right now there are an expiration date
on Cozy's questions.
There are 31 questions in the Cozy's question of the week document. Unless Kind of Funny starts reaccepting questions on their podcast again, this is going to be it. Once these 31 questions are up,
I have a question, Cozy. Do you delete them after we talk about them?
Yes.
Why would you do that? I feel like you should just keep them in like the retired section.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll think about it. I mean, to be fair, we have...
Yeah, I think they're just interesting questions. And I think it'd be cool just to have a list of all the ones that you've said.
Yeah, I'll have to...
Jerica asked me like last year, she's like, does anyone have any good ideas for Would You Rathers? And I was like, let me share the whole note with you of every Would You Rather we've done in the last 10 years on Respawning Fire. And she was like, oh my God, these are all like fucking psychotic, but also amazing. So
the problem is that at this point, I've deleted so many prior questions. There will have to be like a weekend where I just go back and rewatch all the prior Respawning Fire episodes and collect all the old Cozy's questions of the weeks I've done. But until then, let's talk about today's Cozy's questions of the week. We have, like I said at the top, 31 remaining questions. Chad, I want you to name a number between a whole integer between 1 and 16. Joel, you're going to name a number between 17 and 31.
Brittany.
That's not a number.
I named the number 4 Brittany. You told me to name a number.
It's not a number.
4 is now Brittany, and I choose Brittany.
All right. It is 4. Joel, what question?
31.
He chose 31. We're going to start with 31. Cake or pie?
Oh, cake. 100%.
Big cake. Does cheesecake count as a cake? I guess.
Yeah. It's got cake in the name.
Yeah. Then it's cake. Yeah. Also, yeah. It's cake. Cake every time.
Cake is so good, dude. We ate cake. It was like a strawberry shortcake.
Cake's great.
Strawberry shortcake, and it was amazing.
Yeah, I love a good carrot cake, good spice cake, cream cheese icing on basically anything.
Funfetti?
Put it all over me.
Cake?
Ooh, funfetti. Oh,
funfetti cake, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, when me and my brother were in high school, like we would sometimes there's just a box of cake in the pantry, right? I don't know, mom bought it for something, but there's no frosting, so we would literally just make like a vanilla cake and not put anything on it. Fucking delicious.
Oh, dude, I used to eat frosting without a cake. I used to just get a spoon and eat frosting.
we should have been friends.
Just a moment.
If we lived anywhere near each other, we could actually form a whole fucking cake. But instead...
Except I was like 20 when I did that.
20? Yep. I definitely have memories as a kid. So when I was a kid, I used to frequently babysit my little sister because my parents worked at a bowling alley. My mom was a bartender. My stepdad was a bouncer there. This was like their weekend gig. And so I would frequently babysit my little sister, from like, I don't know, 5 p.m. until like 2, 3 a.m. whenever they got home. And my mom would always, every week, give us money to walk to 7-Eleven and get something. there were definitely more than a handful of times that I spent most of my money just on a tub of frosting. And just ate it with a spoon while I played Halo 2.
Again, but he
Cozy
should
just
pop up.
glitch out for you? Oh,
hopefully
I'm
he'll pop
glitching out.
up. Joel, are you there?
Maybe?
Jolie Polioli. Oh,
maybe
I can
not.
still hear you now.
Oh boy.
Jolie Polioli.
Oh,
I
no.
can't hear him yet.
OBS disconnected.
Is he dead now? Did Adam
Is it
pick him up and drive
reconnecting?
him to wherever they both are?
His parents didn't want him to reveal any secrets
This
from
is not
his secret
good.
life as a babysitter.
I hope they're having a good conversation.
You think he babysat Zach and Cody? Is that where
No,
the show
see-
Secret Life of Zach and Cody comes from?
See what
No,
I
it's
thought he
Sweet
was going
Life,
to
not
reveal.
Secret Life.
What is going on here?
Are we still live? No, it seems like
Maybe I have internet.
I think
maybe
we're
I
not
don't.
live anymore.
Oh no!
Uh
Did a meteor hit Joel's
No internet.
place of
Uh-oh.
residence?
Hold on, I'll type in the chat that we'll be right back.
BRB, everything's
What
alright.
is going on with my internet?
BRB, we'll be right on track. Oh man, I hope that Joel comes back because I have something for show and tell that I think will be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I hope so too. Lord willing and the creek don't rise. We'll keep talking though, just in case people put this back in their ears. So Joel's talking about cake and shit. You ever had cake, Cozy?
I have. See, the thing is I don't want to go super in depth into things in case this all gets cut. Yeah, I mean, there was a contrarian bone in my body during that whole conversation that wanted to say that I enjoy pie more. And like, I do enjoy a good pie every here and there. But yeah, I think cake's where it's at. Cake, it's one of those things where like, there he is. Joel, you're back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. My internet just like went down and then came back.
Welcome back. All right.
I'm here.
Let's go back live. We'll go live. And
it should have reconnected automatically.
Oh, let me check Twitch.
Cool beans.
Yeah.
Yep, we're up.
Yay, we're back.
My bad. My internet went down and then decided to come back. So we're here. We're back live. Well, yeah, what I was saying is that I used to get money to go to 7-Eleven on days I would babysit my sister, and I would definitely buy a tub of frosting sometimes and just eat it with a spoon while I played Halo 2.
Hell yeah.
Perfection.
Yeah. So what I was telling Chad while you were MIA is that, yeah, I have a slight contrarian bone in my body that wants to say pie, and I do enjoy a pie here and there, but like, honestly, yeah, I agree with you guys. The answer is cake. Now, the thing about cake is one of those things where like there's a very high ceiling and there's a very low floor. You can have like absolutely terrible, like abysmal supermarket sheet cakes, but a good cake, a good just moist, voluptuous cake with amazing buttercream cheese frosting. Oh, it's just so good.
Dude, Cozy, you just said so many trigger words for people.
I'll tell you what, the only cake, every cake is worth eating except for German chocolate cake, because that coconut can fuck right off.
I don't know if these are going to be trigger words or the opposite of trigger words, but I have a friend in the States called Sharktopus that a little while ago brought me a bunch of gifts from the States. He brought me, and this isn't anything revolutionary, but he got me Duncan Hines perfectly moist carrot cake. Again, we have carrot cake in Canada. Nothing revolutionary, but I appreciated it all the same. And I had it just hanging out in my drawer behind me. And we don't have this in Canada. We got Dolly Parton's Southern style banana cream cake. I'm excited to make this one at some point.
Cozy,
yeah, this is beautiful.
So for reference, me, Chad, Matt Dallas, Audrey, and Jerica, our group chat is called Dolly Parton's Babies. And it's called that because one time when we were raiding, my wife Elise made Dolly, that same brand, whatever that is that, I don't know, Betty Crocker or something, but it's Dolly Parton's
Duncan
branded.
Hines. Duncan Hines.
Yeah, it's that same branding but it's cornbread. And it was so good. And I was telling them how good it was.
Right.
And they were like, send me a picture of it. Like, I don't believe you. So I sent them a picture of it. And ever since then, we've been Dolly Parton's babies.
Somebody asked me a few months ago, like, why is that group chat called Dolly Parton's Babies? I was like, I don't know. I can't remember at all. But it is. It used to be, I think I changed it to Dallas's babies or all Dallas's cuties or something like that. And then he's like, I can't, this, if my wife sees this, she's going to freak out. And, so
and then it was called Dallas's Babies. And then it evolved to Dolly Parton's Babies. So here we are.
All right, tell me about Brittany.
All right, let's go to number 4. Number 4. All right, here we go. So unfortunately, I don't think anyone will be able to, not anyone, but I don't think everyone will be able to answer this question. If your pet gains superpowers based on its personality, what powers would it obtain? And would you be able to control its newfound powers?
Hot Cheetos. So Gwen, her power would be Hot Cheetos. And take that how you will. Everybody in high school had the Hot Cheeto girl who just came in, was super loud, eating Hot Cheetos, was yelling at the teacher, got the fingers. Yep, that is my fucking dog. She is a bitch. And I've told my wife many times, like, if she was a human being in high school, she would be the Hot Cheeto girl that shows up like in slippers, in Cookie Monster sweatpants, just eating Hot Cheetos at like 7 a.m. That would be my dog, 100%. And I would love her still. Maybe not as much, but yeah.
Atreus' superpower would be the ability to become a conjoined twin on demand. Like,
okay,
he always wants to be touching me in some way, whether it's like snuggled up with his butt against my back, or like with his, if I'm playing video games and he has to be like laying in between my legs, or if I'm doing anything that's not paying attention to him, he wants me like up on my shoulder, but he just wants to be touching me in some way. So he'd find a way to be a conjoined twin.
I'm picturing like a Velcro wall where he just like jumps on you and is just stuck to you because you're trying to avoid him.
I said up front that we wouldn't all be able to answer this question, but in fact, I do have a cat by the name of Jackie, full name Jacqueline. I mean, honestly, her superpower would probably be just like a force field, or like just the power to like turn invisible and never be found, because she is not. She can be very affectionate with certain people, but she's not very affectionate with me. And so I think she would just obtain powers that would allow her to further this relationship or lack thereof.
Damn, Jackie.
Damn, Jackie.
You're cold.
That's it for Cozy's question of the week.
And that brings us to Game On Game Show, the game we play game on a gaming show called Game On. Fuck, I fucked that one up. Game Show! Game. It's time, gentlemen, for Marry, Fuck, Kill 2025 Part 2.
Oh, no.
Once every 6 months, as a way of kind of looking at what's to come in that half of the year and getting excited about it, we look at what games are coming out and we decide which ones we're going to marry, fucking kill. As a recap, for the first half of 2025, we chose that we were going to marry Civilization 7, that we were going to fuck Split Fiction, and that we were going to kill Dune Awakening. Now, those labels have zero actual meaning or like judgment on the game itself. It's just who we want to fuck, marry, or kill. There were a bajillion thousand games between now and December 31st. So I whittled it down to 15 that I could come up with some kind of witty little category name for. And then the rest of them just had to fuck off. So this won't be a collection of all the games coming out in the next 6 months, but it will be a selection of 15 notable ones. So we're going to start with the first category called Loot, Scoot, and Boogie. These are all looter shooters. Borderlands 4. Destiny Edge of Fate, which launches in like 12 hours, y'all. And Destiny Rising, that mobile game that I'm not looking forward to.
Kill it.
I'm okay with killing Destiny Rising.
Yes, kill it.
Cozy?
Completely forgot about the Destiny mobile game. Yeah, let's kill it. And then I guess we can... I don't know.
I'm marrying
If I
Destiny.
have to be married to Randy Pitchford, I would blow my brains out.
Cannot.
So I'm going to say fuck Borderlands 4.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that.
100% agree, because Borderlands 4 is a game, while I'll probably play it when it comes out and enjoy it, it's not a forever game, right? I always grow tired of those games pretty quickly. Usually right after I finish the stories when I'm done. But Destiny, I always come back to. Like that is a forever game to me.
Speaking of Gears of Wednesday tomorrow, Matt, Dallas, and I are playing the new campaign. So,
oh wow,
you're welcome to join us in Discord while you play. But you gotta find. I'm sure Jarek and Audrey want to play. So,
yeah, I don't know.
next category: white guy on the box. These are ones where there's a white guy on the box, which marketing says your game will sell better if that is the case. There is Hell Is Us. There is Metal Gear Solid Delta, and there's Gears of War Reloaded.
Metal Gear Solid Delta, that game, its initial reveal had some people, less than certain whether or not that team was going to be able to pull it off. But it seems like that game is shaping off really well. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to marry Metal Gear Solid Delta, not just because it seems like it's shaping up to be a really great remake, but when you factor in things like the Ape Escape mode, the online mode, which hasn't really been detailed, but we know is a aspect of it. Like there's a lot of content in that game to go around to be married to.
I was right there with you. I was thinking Metal Gear Solid Delta is a couple decade old game now, but in 2025, still finding ways to surprise us with Ape Escape and multiplayer. So that's a good marry.
Mm-hmm.
All right, do we want to fuck or kill Hell Is Us and Gears of War Reloaded?
Fuck Gears of War Reloaded.
Ooh, why?
I love Gears of War. That's why. And I'm excited to play it for a short period of time.
I am really curious I've definitely talked about this in a prior episode, really curious what the trophy list on Gears of War Reloaded is going to look like. If there's going to be a lot of multiplayer trophies, if I'm going to be replaying through that campaign over and over, because it's not the longest campaign in the world. To be honest, it's probably going to be
identical to the Gears of War remastered on Xbox. Yeah. Because the game itself looks like basically almost identical to Gears of War Remastered, but on 4K.
On the flip side, I know almost nothing about Hell Is Us. No offense
like
towards the studio. So
yeah, I don't even know what that is.
All right, number 3 category is: did you do something different with your hair? Same guy, new style. These are games where the main character is a different game style than you're used to playing that. First up is Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Ooh.
Shadow Labyrinth, which is that Pac-Man game based on the Secret Level episode. And Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, which is a return after several decades back to the 2D beat-em-up kind of nature, or hack and slash.
Merry Donkey Kong.
Yeah, we did not. We didn't really have a proper episode to react to the Donkey Kong Direct that happened because there was such a gap between $399 and $400. I just want to say right here and right now, I am so incredibly pleasantly surprised and happy that Nintendo seems to be embracing voice acting more and more in its games. If you had told me ahead of time that Donkey Kong Bonanza was going to feature a ton of voice acting by way of Baby Pauline, I would have been like, no, that's not Nintendo. They're a frugal and cost-cutting company that would not do something like that. And so I'm very pleasantly surprised and very, very much looking forward to seeing what this game has to offer when it releases. Gonna marry it as well.
Marry? I'm okay with that. All right, fucking kill for Shadow Labyrinth and Ninja Gaiden
Shadow
Ragebound.
Labyrinth. Kill Shadow Labyrinth.
Whoa. I feel very strongly.
Kill it.
I can see Shadow Labyrinth actually being very decent, but yeah, I'm gonna kill it as well.
Killing Shadow Labyrinth. I mean, it looked gooky and like nasty anyway. I mean, interesting from a story, but so that leaves us with fucking Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Category number 4 of 5. 100 bad guys with swords. This is games where you'll probably kill at least 100 bad guys using swords. Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. Ninja Gaiden 4. Ghosts of Yotei.
Marry Ghosts of Yotei.
Damn, right off the bat, you're just like, you immediately know who you want to marry every single time. Did you propose to Elise on your first date?
The second.
Wow. Sorry, it was Wu Chang, Yotei.
Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, Ghost of Yotei, Ninja Gaiden 4. Games where you'll probably kill at least 100 bad guys using swords.
I'm actually going to marry Ninja Gaiden 4.
Oh, why?
And then I will.
Actually, I'd like to hear a why from both of you. Because remember, this has to be a unanimous decision.
So I have zero interest in Ninja Gaiden or what was the other, Wu Chang?
Wu Chang Fallen Feathers?
Yeah, so that's why I would marry Ghost of Yotei, personally.
Ninja Gaiden 4's story looks like it's going to be bug nuts in the way that I enjoy my Japanese games.
Bug nuts.
Bug nuts.
Is that a Canadian thing?
No, it's an international
Bug
thing.
nuts. Okay.
Anyways, here's the thing. I will still fuck Ghost of Yotei because, like, as much as I'm like not looking forward to that game and not interested in playing it, I know I would expect that it will still be a incredibly well polished and incredibly enjoyable from a, gameplay perspective experience. Whereas Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, I feel like that one's a little bit more iffy. That one will be my kill. So yeah, that's how it goes for me.
I think I'm with you on killing Fallen Feathers. I mean, it looks like a game that I probably will want to play, depending on how it reviews, just because it's a weird, gross-ass Souls-like kind of game, which I tend to be into, but I'm okay with killing that. And then what did you say? Fuck Ghost and marry Ninja Gaiden 4?
Correct. That's my choice.
That leaves me as the tiebreaker then. I'm gonna marry Ghost of Yotei.
Hell yeah.
I just feel like Ninja Gaiden 4 just feel like it's like that stylish action game where like you have to slash and dice and all that kind of, like that's gonna be a rough, hectic, abusive marriage. So I'm gonna fuck Ninja Gaiden. And Ghost of Yotei, it's a little orphan girl. How can you possibly be violent in that? Even though we know now that she has access to 1,000 bajillion weapons. All right, the last category here is one of us is gonna have to go home and change. All three of these games are releasing within 24 hours of each other. That is Jurassic World Evolution 3, The Outer Worlds 2, and Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD Remake.
I've never played a Dragon Quest game, but I really want to.
Don't start with that one.
Why?
It's just old. It's old.
Can you repeat the
Even
first
Dragon
two?
Quest 3 HD Remake, I think if you're a person that's like, that doesn't have any kind of nostalgia for Dragon Quest 3, you're not really gonna like, that shouldn't be your first one.
So what should be the first one then?
Probably something a little bit more recent. I didn't love 9, the most recent one, but I think it's just because the character was just like so vanilla that I couldn't connect with him at all. But I don't know. Yeah. Maybe 3. I don't know.
What are the other two ones again in this one?
Jurassic World Evolution 3 and
Okay.
The Outer Worlds 2.
Well, dinosaurs are already dead. They've been extinct for a very long time. So I'm going to go ahead and kill that one because it's already dead.
I'm down with that.
Wow. They coming back for a second chance and you just immediately cut them off.
Nope,
I'm
not allowed.
down to kill them. I personally think that I would fuck Dragon Quest just because, like I said, I've never played them, but I want to try them. And what was the third one?
Outer Worlds 2.
Oh yeah, I would marry Outer Worlds 2 just because I enjoyed Outer Worlds 1 a lot. So yeah, I would marry Outer Worlds 2.
If this was any other matchup, I wouldn't marry Outer Worlds 2, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to marry it in this particular instance. Outer Worlds 1, I wasn't super hot on, but it was a game that did get its hooks in me. I felt like it had a good, it's just one of those games where like, the story didn't really do much for me, but it had a good gameplay rhythm to it. The process of leveling up and accruing more abilities is very satisfying. And so on that basis alone, Outer Worlds 2 gets a marry, and the Dragon Quest remakes will be the fuck.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna also marry. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm gonna marry Outer Worlds 2 just because apparently the game is supposed to be funny, even though I didn't find the first one funny. And so if I'm gonna have a long-term relationship with somebody, I want to at least have the opportunity to maybe laugh one day. So I'll agree with all of that. Now we have the final task of figuring out what is the actual one game we're gonna marry out of all of those games we said we were gonna marry. What's the one game we're gonna fucking? What's the one game we're gonna kill? So let's start with marry. Of the 5 games, which one are we choosing? Ghost of Yotei, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Metal Gear Solid Delta, Destiny Edge of Fate, or The Outer Worlds 2? What are we marrying, y'all?
I'm going Destiny Edge of Fate just because that, in my mind, has the most everlasting content, I guess, because it's like the only live service game out of all of those. So personally, I'd go with Destiny.
My vote is for Metal Gear Solid Delta because I feel like it's a good mix of single player content and potentially really strong multiplayer content.
Here's what I'm going to say as the tiebreaker. I'm going to say we're going Destiny Edge of Fate because
congratulations
surprise,
to Destiny.
but also because Metal Gear Solid Delta, like I'm not going to have somebody smoking cigarettes or cigars in my home for the rest of my life. No. Get out of here, Snake. Get out of here, you nasty. All right, then we're going to fuck. The games are Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD Remake, Ninja Gaiden 4, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, Borderlands 4, Gears of War Reloaded.
I'm gonna go Borderlands. Out of those 5, I think that's the most excited I am for any of those to play, I would say, for a short period of time. So yeah, I'm gonna go Borderlands.
See, I was literally going to say Borderlands as well, but sort of instead for the reason that I feel like Borderlands 4 is sort of the perfect definition of you want to fuck it, you don't want to marry it. There's enough, it has enough baggage to it. What's his face, Magician Man, that runs that company, where it's like, I don't really want to stick around, but yeah, I'll fuck around a little.
Yeah, Borderlands 4, for sure. For sure. All those guns, all those bajillion guns. Something
guns.
New. Finally, Kill. Jurassic World Evolution 3, Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers, Hell Is Us, Destiny Rising, Shadow Labyrinth. What game are we killing?
Destiny Rising.
Destiny Rising. Yeah, Destiny Rising.
Yeah, let's go for it. Go for it.
Out of those games, that's clearly the loser. Like,
if we're marrying Destiny Edge of Fate, Destiny Edge of Fate is going to, like, knowing that there's a clone of it out there trying to win us over, it's going to get real angry at us. So let's just kill Destiny Rising.
Agreed.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So for 2025, part 2, we are officially marrying Destiny Edge of Fate, killing Destiny Rising, and fucking Borderlands 4. That's it, everyone, for Game on Game Show, and that is it for episode 401 of Respawn Aim Fire. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening, watching, eating, whatever you're doing right now while we're talking and looking at you. Thank you for doing it. If you are a patron, you have homework. Go to patreon.com/respawnaimfire. You can watch the new Rafter Dark, which is, again, that is about Costco and IKEA food, especially their hot dogs, comparing them, and which one Cozy would eat and which one he wouldn't, even if one was better than the other, as well as a lot of other things. While you're there, you have also chosen, via vote on Patreon, for us to play Expedition 33. So go play that this month and next, because remember, it's a 2-month game because it's a little bit longer. Go play that. And then at the end of August / beginning of September, we will have an episode where we review it. If you want to be on that episode, give us a ring, give us a call, send us a message, send us an email, respawningfire@gmail.com, text Adam directly. If you are not a patron, you also have homework. Go be a patron. Do all those things. You also have access to Rafter Dark 5 right now as well for the first time in July, which is all the places Joel's Joe friend threw up. And that's it. Oh, also, yeah, just go check out episode 400. It's a great 2-hour-ish almost episode of great celebrations.
Lots of great content.
Lots
of good
stuff in there. Watching Cozy drink an amazing looking drink, but then the expression on his face when he drinks it is so telling. Go watch all that. Episode 400. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, here's our usual sign off. Baby, let me be in your butt.